Hey guys, welcome to this week's Mind lesson. So what we're going to discuss is self-awareness and goal setting. Now, most of the time in a program, you start off by setting your goals, which is awesome because that begins with your intention and your plan for the whole program. But what a lot of people do is they set a goal that isn't aligned with themselves and they end up self-sabotaging or never achieving it. So that's why we've put in self-awareness first, which is awareness of yourself. So you can go into this in a lot of detail, but today we're just going to go through and find out your values and what they mean to you and aligning your goals with them. A value is something that you deem important in your life. Now, to figure that out, we've just got a simple exercise you can do called a life wheel. So this is attached in the article. It's a circle that has a couple of segments in it with each a different aspect of your life. So like love and relationships, career, family, fun, etc. And what you need to do in this exercise is go through and rate your current level of that out of 10. So just rate it up to a certain level, what you consider it to be right now, and also rate it how important it is to you in your life. Now, this is a great way to A, see what is most important to you, and B, see if certain areas of your life are not lining up. Now, this is great for all areas of your life for goal setting, but of course, we're going to mainly focus on your health and wellness and how that relates back to your life. Because feeling powerful means that you're feeling aligned and happy with your goals and where you're going. So go through and do that exercise and then come back to this next section. All right, so the next section is aligning your goals with your values. So you may have gone through, done your life wheel, had a little look and seen what's important to you. So what are your biggest values? Now we want to try and align that with our goals. So to organize that before I go into actual goal setting, I want to explain to you my goal setting feedback loop. So this is the way that I generally figure out my goals. So to begin with, you see this little diagram over here. I've also attached that in the article. To begin, we start off with aspire. So this is your why. You need to begin knowing your goal, your values, and aligning them with your goals, which is exactly what we're going through. The next is knowing enough information, or it's called advice, knowing enough information and knowledge to get you to your goal. The number 3 is aim, so planning and putting in place the steps and the habits and the actions that you need to do. And 4 is actually acting, so getting the work done. Number 5 is accountability, so looping back around and seeing as time goes on your feedback towards all of these segments until you actually achieve your goal. Now we're going to go through act and accountability next week in action and accountability, but this week we're going to go through aspire, advice and aim. Now, hopefully that gives you a little bit more clarity as to why we're doing it in this process and how that's going to affect you when you goal set. So now that you've looked at your goals, now that you've looked at your values, let's go through a very simple goal setting system that I use from The One Thing. It's a great book, by the way, you should probably read it. So now that you've organized your values, we can sort of align them with your goals. So to begin with, you need to choose a goal, and I usually say that straight away you want it to be an intrinsic goal, or a reason behind your goal is deeper within yourself rather than extrinsic. So an example of this might be you may want to lose 10 kilos. If you just state that, lose 10 kilos, and you haven't connected that to anything deep inside yourself, you're probably not going to do your habits, your actions, and your steps, and you're probably going to end up self-sabotaging. So instead, looking at the areas of your life and your values that mean the most to you, align that goal with those. So for example, I may want to lose 10 kilos to improve my family life, to be able to run around with my kids, to have an awesome time. I want to lose 10 kilos so I can have an awesome adventure, an awesome holiday, and not have any issues walking up and down hills. There are certain aspects that you value that you can align your health and fitness goals to make them permanent and something that you sustainably tick off every week. So choose a goal, make it align with your values. Then rephrase it as a question. So how can I lose 10 kilos, gain 10 kilos of muscle, gain 20 kilos on my deadlift? You need to make it a question. Number 3 is make it measurable, so big and specific. You need some specific data to see what you can actually stay accountable every time that you check in. So say I want to lose 10 kilos in 16 weeks. You need to make sure there's a time limit there so you can reflect and see if you're actually chipping along towards that. I may want to improve my deadlift by 20 kilos in 6 months. They are big and specific measurable goals. And then finding an answer. So what I said before in the advice section of the feedback loop is, do you know enough information to be able to achieve your goal? So The one thing asks 3 things, like whether your answer is within your skill set. So do you already have all the skills and the knowledge to achieve a goal? You just need to actually do it. That's all good. Then you can use that for your action plan. Or is it just within your knowledge? You're not 100% sure what to do. You're kind of on the right track. Then that's when you need to either read books, or obviously get a coach like me. Or if it's something that's outside your knowledge, you've got no clue how to do it, that's when you go straight to a coach to seek advice. Obviously, this program is going to help you out a lot with that. But again, you can apply this to every goal-setting area of your life. The last one is making your goal actionable. So habits and actions are the big priority of our mindset work that we're going to do. So what you do regularly on a regular basis in your habits, what you do regularly in your actions, that is what's going to add up to achieving your actual goal. So, say let's go with the 10 kilo example. So you want to lose 10 kilos in 16 weeks. You've figured out that it's aligned with your values. You want to go on a holiday, it's aligned with that. You want to have an awesome time trekking up the mountains of Switzerland. You are asked how you can lose the 10 kilos in 16 weeks. And you know it's going to come down to your nutrition and your training and your mindset. We'll go through more of the actual habits in that time. But once you figure them out, you put them into your diary, you put them into your book, and you start acting on them every week. And that's what we'll go through next week in action and accountability to how to follow up your goals to see that you're achieving them every week, which is how our journal is designed. So give that a go for this week, guys, and I will see you next week.